I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back?
What's going on, boxing fans? It's Backchat TV, and we're going to jump straight into this topic of the heavyweight division. We've just had some news recently of Joseph Parker taking the fight with Zhilei Zang. It was originally supposed to be Deontay Wilder fighting Zhilei Zang, since Deontay Wilder said he didn't want a rematch with Joseph Parker after his loss. Zhilei Zang was put out there on the table and offered to Deontay Wilder apparently. And apparently Deontay Wilder or his team turned the fight down. Then stepped in Joseph Parker, and now we have Zhilei Zang, Big Bang from China, versus Joseph Parker, a man who is who's got the fans behind him again after that amazing win against Deontay Wilder. Joseph Parker has some momentum, and he's got the fans behind him again, believing in him again, and he's set to fight the big man, Zhilei Zang, Big Bang. I don't like this fight. I do not like this fight for Joseph Parker. Now, I don't mean from a fan perspective. From a fan perspective, I'm all in, just like most people. It's an exciting fight. We want to see good top fights. But from a perspective of someone who, if I was advising Joseph Parker, I would advise him to swerve this fight. Try to get a fight with somebody else. You're just building momentum off the back of your Deontay Wilder win. People are believing in you, like I said before. You know, try and get a fight with maybe Hrgović. I know Hrgovic's team want to take him in a different direction, but if you could get a fight with Hrgović, that's a good fight. It's quite equal in ability. They're quite equal in size. You know, you couldn't openly, easily say who would win. It's very competitive, and if Joseph Parker was to beat Hrgović, that shoots him right up there as well. Another big scalp. Hrgović would be another big scalp for Parker. People would really start seeing Parker as a world beater. Now, the problem with Parker is he's such a nice guy. He doesn't turn anything down. As soon as they present it with him, he just says, yep, I'll take it, no matter who it is. And I feel like that's his downfall. I feel like he has to be more strategic with his career. He has to choose the right fights, the right people who are the right size, who match up with his skill set. All these things have to be taken into considerations. Exciting fights that are gonna, get the fans behind you and stuff like that. All these things matter. They will translate into money as well and support. And you can't just take any fight that's thrown at you thinking that that's the warrior code. No matter what they give me, I just say yes. This is your career, because when you lose, it sets you back so far. Sometimes you can't recover from it. Now, I'm not trying to say it's just because I think Parker's going to lose. It's not that issue. It's just the fact that Zhilei Zang is, for me, he's like Joe Joyce 2.0. He's better than Joe Joyce in every department. And we saw what Joe Joyce did to Joseph Parker. The issue I've got here is size matters. Zhilei Zang is a huge man. 20-something stone. One of his hands is like the same size as two of Joseph Parker's hands. He's just a bigger man and a lot more physical, a lot faster than Joe Joyce, foot speed and hand speed, a lot smarter, better footwork, better boxing brain, better boxing technique. I'm not saying Joseph Parker doesn't have a chance, but the problem is I don't think Joseph Parker can hurt Zhilei Zang because of the size difference. It's not about boxing skills or any of that stuff. Joseph Parker has got lots of skills. He can move, he can bob and weave, he can do a lot, he's got good feet, but none of that's going to matter when you're fighting a man can just put you out, put your lights out. We saw what happened when a smaller man like Joseph Parker tried to fight a bigger man like Joe Joyce. He couldn't hurt Joe Joyce. And then we saw what Zhilei Zang did to Joe Joyce twice. There's a difference in power, in size, and if you can, it's better to swerve that fight until you have to take a fight like that, and then you can be a warrior and take any fight. But if you've got an option to see what else is on the table, just wait out a little bit, fight someone else, make up an excuse you didn't fight that fight, fight someone else, see what happens. Zhilei Zang might lose. All sorts of things can happen, but you just have to be strategic in your career. I don't feel like Parker's doing that, and that's why I don't like this fight. I feel like he's going to fight Zhilei Zang in March, 8th of March, under the Joshua Ngannou undercard, which is another amazing card they're putting on. They're really doing it big out there in Saudi Arabia. And I think he's going to lose. I think he's going to lose, and he's going to lose not just the fight, but he's going to lose momentum and everything. Joseph Parker's just going to go back to being a runner-up contender as he was before. And I don't want to see that, because Parker, I feel like he's worked so hard. He's fought so many top guys. He's got such a great resume. Just to lose because he's accepting the wrong fights. Zhilei Zang weighs in at 280 something plus pounds, maybe heavier. I'm not even sure what his weight is, but 280 something pounds. Parker, considerably less than that. He's going to have trouble in there. He's going to have trouble in there with Zhilei Zang. He's not, I tell you now, mark my words, he's not going to be able to hurt Zhilei Zang. And if you can't hurt Zhilei Zang, it's going to be difficult, because Zhilei Zang's going to come forward. He's going to come forward, throwing those shots much faster than Joe Joyce was throwing them, and putting pressure on Parker physically. Parker's not going to be able to move him around. He's going to end up getting backed into a corner, taking heavy shots. And I just don't see it going well. Now, if Parker can beat Zhilei Zang, then I'm all for it. I'll be the first to applaud him, but I don't see it happening. Like I said, for the same reasons that Joe Joyce beat him, Joe Joyce is considerably slower than Zhilei Zang. Hand speed and foot speed. Zhilei Zang is much faster. I would say definitely hand speed. Their foot speed may be about the same, but Zhilei Zang is a lot smarter. He's just better than Joe Joyce in so many areas, including power. And I don't even think Joe Joyce has got amazing power. Even his punching technique, I didn't really like it. I've always said that about Joe Joyce. But look what he was able to do with that physical strength alone against Parker. And like I said, if he can do that against Parker, I know 100% Zhilei Zang can. So I think this is a step backwards for Parker. I don't give him much chance. But obviously Parker is a good fighter, so you have to give him some chance. I would say maybe 60-40 in the favour of Zhilei Zang. Maybe more. But I just have a feeling that Parker's just not going to be able to make a dent in Zhilei Zang. His best bet is to keep moving and try to hope that Zhilei Zang gets tired and he throws more punches than Zhilei Zang and gets some kind of decision, because he's not going to be able to stop him. Parker's just not big enough naturally. He's not going to be able to stop Zhilei Zang. He better just hope he gets tired. He's not going to be able to hurt him at all. I don't like this fight for Parker. And if he loses in devastating fashion, which can happen, we've seen what Zhilei Zang did to Joe Joyce. I feel like if Parker has a devastating loss like that, that may just be the end of him. And it didn't have to be that way. Like I said, he could have taken some other fights and kind of left that fight till last, if you know what I mean. The really big men till last. It's nothing wrong with fighting really big men that are a lot bigger than you, but like, I would rather Parker fight his good friend Tyson Fury. I think Parker has a way better chance with Tyson Fury than Zhilei Zang. It's just styles. It's just the styles. Parker's a tough man himself, punches hard himself. Fury likes to be elusive. Parker can catch up with him with a lot of punches, and I think he would catch Fury with a lot of shots. And Fury is not the hardest puncher. Yes, he uses his weight, but he tends to use his weight on people who are a lot slower. I think Parker would would get out of the way and just pose more challenges to Fury, you know, because Fury doesn't really punch that hard. Although he's big, he's not really strong and really physically that powerful, although he does use his weight. And I think Fury would win by using his weight and using his size, and he has got all those boxing skills as well. But the difference is, I think Zhilei Zang hits a lot harder, and Zhilei Zang is just a big man. I don't see Joseph Parker hurting him. Don't see him hurting him. If you can't hurt someone in 12 rounds, you're probably going to lose. So that's my take on this. I suspect there's some people that's going to have a different take and who believe that Parker is actually the better fighter and who maybe believe that he'll beat Zhilei Zang. But I wouldn't hold my breath about this fight. I think it's a mistake. Now, the only reason why I could be wrong, the most obvious reason why I could be wrong, is because Hrgović and Zhilei Zang had a very close match. They had a very close match, and Hrgović got the decision. And then obviously I've said that Hrgović and Parker, you know, would be a close fight. So that's the only reason why, you know, like I said, Parker has a chance if he can move around and, you know, land shots here and there and win a decision. Then I think he could do it, just the way Hrgović did. But Hrgović is, if I remember correctly, a bigger man than Parker. So, you know, maybe that was the reason why he was able to do better against Zhilei Zang than I think Parker will. Let me know what you think. We'll briefly talk about Anthony Joshua also and Ngannou. Another good fight. You know, Anthony Joshua initially said it was a gimmick fight when Ngannou was fighting Fury, but now it's been offered to him. He's taken it. I think Joshua beats Ngannou. I like Ngannou. I really do. I like his character. I like his fighting style. He's tough as nails. But I think Joshua, just styles make fights. I think Joshua beats him. Joshua knows how to box when it's time to box. Joshua knows how to sit down on his punches. He's not falling over his feet like Fury was. He's not taking Ngannou for granted. It doesn't matter what people say about punching power. Anthony Joshua punches harder than Fury. Anthony Joshua will sit down on some of those punches and it's going to have a bigger effect on Ngannou than what Fury could do. Joshua is going to really sit down on his punches against Ngannou, and Ngannou, with a lack of experience, is not going to be able to have as much success as he did with Fury. So I give Ngannou basically the same chance I give Parker against Zhilei Zang. I know a lot of people might disagree with that. Parker is a lot better than that, but I just don't like the fact that I don't think Parker will be able to hurt Zhilei Zang. But he may definitely win by decision. I can see that happening. Either way, it's going to be a good fight. I think we're going to see Zhilei Zang's hand raised against Parker, and I think we'll see Anthony Joshua hands raised against Francis Ngannou.
I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess